In 1960, Benito and Giuseppe Panini were operating a newspaper distribution office out of Modena, Italy. They happened upon a large amount of stock of what are known as figurines, basically little picture cards you would attach to surfaces with glue. The brothers sold them in packets of 2 for 10 lire each. They sold 3 million packets that year. The brothers then formed their own company called Figurine Panini in 1961 to manufacture and sell their own figurines. Panini sold 15 million packets of figurines in 1961. 29 million units were sold the following year, and the legend began. So let's start to talk about Panini stickers. Now, if you were, about my age, I guess, or any other age, Panini stickers you would have if you were football bonkers. Now, I reckon Richard, it wasn't football bonkers, because he supports Arsenal, so no one's football bonkers who support Arsenal. I reckon Jason probably was, because he's a bit football-y. Andy, I don't reckon you're a football fan. I don't think you are.
I am a football fan. Yeah. I remember having the stickers. I don't think I ever did an album.
No, I never finished that. I've just pulled from my office drawer my childhood edition of Panini's Football 80. Introduction by Ron Greenwood.
I want to know if Andy Preston supported Preston North End. This is a question that's been on my mind for years.
Well, that would be logical, wouldn't it? But no, my first footballing love was the mighty Stoke City.
Stoke City?
Because my father is from the Potteries, and he's a big Stoke fan, and he was actually on their books for a little while. Never had a first team game, but that's his claim to fame. He was on the books at the same time as Sir Stanley Matthews.
Well, he was there for about 50 years, so he was going to be featured at some stage.
That's it. And then more recently, since we've been in Somerset, it's the even mightier Yeovil Town Football Club.
Oh, well, I have a very good friend who's a Yeovil Town fan. In fact, here's a question. I actually attended as a guest the launch of your trust, of the supporters trust at Yeovil Town.
Yeah, Glover's Trust.
Yeah, I actually sat there and I gave a speech and I did a whole football thing because I'm part of a trust, so they invited me along. So yeah, I did at your launch thing with lots of Yeovil types there, all sounding very strange. But anyway, back to football and stickers. That's where Panini came into my head because everyone had a football sticker album. Everyone. My first one was 1982 World Cup, which I didn't finish. Yeah, I mean, guys, you must have had football sticks. Like I said, you definitely did, Preston. What about you, Jason? Because I reckon you'll probably had some Scottish thing.
I've got two. I've got the football 1980 Panini one, which I've just mentioned, and I also have in my office drawer the FKS Argentina 78 10 pence. This is the famous World Cup where Scotland qualified and England didn't, and there's a great.
Here we go.
There's a great
blah, blah.
song. The funny thing is, I've got this album with all the stickers in it, and I had all the Scotland ones, but then for some strange reason, I decided to take them out of the album for safekeeping, and then lost them all. So I've got no
Jason.
Scotland at this point. I've got no Scotland stickers at all.
I think you're covering it up. You were so disgruntled.
Kenny Dalglish is missing. He's not Archie Gemmill. I've got no Archie Gemmill.
Well, I think the Scotland team has been missing since about 1978, haven't they, Jason?
Danny McGrain, Gordon McQueen.
He's gone. These
Bruce
just random
Lee.
Scottish people he's reading out. No one even knows that.
The greatest footballer of all time, Alan Roth, and he's missing.
Jason, is the rest of the album full?
No, it's not. It's not full, but all the Scotland ones are gone. I'm going to have to go and readdress that and maybe start buying Scotland stickers to stick back in it. Cause
I think you need to.
The last time we qualified, it was 1998, the France World Cup, and the opening game was Scotland-Brazil. We lost 2-1 to Brazil, and we scored one of their goals for them. So there you go.
A normal thing, Jason, and another failure. Right, Richard, I reckon, guys, let's have a bit of speculation, right? Now, it's stickers, quite extravagant. Football, he's northern, but he is an Arsenal fan, so would have been a bit of an outcast. So I don't reckon you did have any stickers, Richard. What are you boys? What do you reckon?
I definitely remember the greatest sticker album of all time, the He-Man Masters of the Universe sticker album. And in the middle of it had this wonderful colour must have been glossy paper from memory, perhaps a poster that you pulled out that you put stickers on. But it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. I don't remember having Star Wars stickers, but I definitely had football stickers. 82 World Cup was too soon for me. I definitely remember 86, and I remember going to garages and getting these coins and putting in a coin album, and you had stickers and you had scratch cards where you scratch a football off and you hit a red X, you didn't score a goal and all that kind of stuff. I do remember all them. I reckon I probably started maybe about 85 with Panini stickers and probably stopped at about 87. But yeah, I definitely had sticker albums.
I'm going to have to challenge your greatest sticker album of all time, because obviously, forget He-Man in 1980, and it was another free album that I got, Buck Rogers.
I had
with,
the Buck
with
Rogers.
the absolutely awesome Wilma Deering.
Just calm down, Jason. Just calm down on Wilma Deering.
It's all about how many Wilma Deering stickers you have in this, and I think I've got two absolutely gorgeous ones in here, so I'm very happy with that.
I remember Buck Rogers. I had that album. I didn't complete it again. I obviously lost interest. I definitely had E.T. I definitely finished that one. I can't remember if I've still got it or I flogged it. I think then it was Star Wars. So I think then I had the Return of the Jedi one, but I didn't have any before that. Football stickers were getting popular with me. I was getting into football at the time, and everyone at school had them. But I actually, for that Return of the Jedi sticker album, I think I told you this before. Something happened. I think a mate of mine, he either stole or got given by a dodgy parent or a dodgy brother or sister in a shop a whole box of Return of the Jedi stickers. I only had about 5 or 6 to complete. And I remember we just sat there opening every pack. The glory of opening up a whole box of stickers. I would never be forgotten. I will never forget the smell of opening up those stickers, smelling that new fresh sticker, and then going through the whole pack and realising there's none you actually need. But still, it was a thrill of that. It was absolutely amazing.
In 1970, Panini began publishing L'Amansico Illustrato di Calcio Italiano, the illustrated guide to Italian football, after purchasing the rights from publishing house Calcano. Panini also published its first FIFA World Cup trading cards and sticker album for the 1970 World Cup in Mexico, using multilingual captions and selling stickers outside of Italy for the first time. This kickstarted the craze for collecting and trading stickers. Panini stickers were an instant hit. The tradition of swapping duplicate World Cup stickers was a playground fixture during the 1970s and 1980s. Another first for Panini in the early 1970s was introducing self-adhesive stickers as opposed to using glue.
Now, Panini, they didn't do any Empire Strikes Back, but they did do Star Wars and they did do Return of the Jedi. Now, we've got two Friendzoids here sitting here waiting to attack the Return of the Jedi stuff. I did have that album. I still have it, all complete. In fact, I have two for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. One incomplete. But there were two Star Wars albums, believe it or not. There was one for the Italian market with the Guerre Stellari. And there was also one for the German market and also sold in Austria and Switzerland. Krieg der Stern. Well, you must have seen these albums. So there's only two. I believe they had the same format, which was sticker album with the covers, the stickers, packs were exactly the same, and then there would be in shop top boxes. I cannot find any images of a Krieg der Stern German box, but I have found images of the Guerre Stellari. We shall start with Guerre Stellari, the Italian album, which is absolutely fantastic. So we have that wonderful design, which is that white kind of background, the yellow Star Wars, and not really summing up the film particularly brilliantly.
I love the fact that Luke and Leia look nothing like Luke and Leia.
Well, exactly. But for this, we actually have some original artwork by the artist Michelangelo Papuzza. Now, I tried to find more information about Michelangelo Papuzza. He did another Star Wars poster, and that was it. And the only poster people can find, he did a Fistful of Dollars poster, and that is it. There is absolutely nothing out there. So whether he just wasn't very popular after a Fistful of Dollars, or he didn't get any work, or he wasn't really that kind of artist, I don't know. But it is very hard to find information about this artist, and I think that is a corking image. Because Princess Leia, anyone would describe Princess Leia? Jason, you're on a bit of a horn with Wilma Deering. I'd say she looks more like Wilma Deering than she does Princess Leia, doesn't she?
Yeah, I mean, she's wearing a kind of off-the-shoulder one-cut white dress, and she's got quite big thighs as well. And her hair is kind of...
It's flowing.
quite flowing. And saying that, I think Luke's showing more chest than she is.
In fact, Luke's got no trousers on.
He's got larger breasts as well.
He's wearing in that particular image, he's wearing a green kimono as such, a very short one, and looks like he's not wearing any trousers or shorts. So quite revealing. The Italians obviously thought, "Ooh, these two are a bit sauce." What about Chewbacca, Andy? Tell me about Chewbacca.
Yeah, it's a strange image of Chewbacca, isn't it? He looks a bit scary. He looks cross with somebody. He's carrying a big gun. Looks like a big double-barreled shotgun type gun. He's got some sort of yellow bandolier over his shoulder. He's bright red for some reason with yellow highlights. So, not exactly the Chewie that we all know and love. The one that I like, though, is the Vader. Now, normally in most of these Star Wars posters, you've got Vader as the great big looming evil presence in the background. But here he's small and blue, and he's sort of lurking and peering over Leia's shoulder. I'm not quite sure what he's doing in the background there.
I think he's in a off-the-shoulder dress, and he's a little bit, hello. And his breathing difficulties suddenly have come back with that. But, just most odd composition. Now, there is actually a... Richard, what am I going to say about a TIE fighter? What's going on there?
TIE fighter shooting Luke's head.
Well, I know he's got the red blast rather than green again. They're obsessed with this.
Of course, from a couple of months ago. Yeah,
every early thing they're ignoring it. But weird composition. I mean, R2 looks. I don't know what on earth's going on. He's involved in some sort of smoke thing with C-3PO. I don't know whether he's on fire or something. He looks like he's got smoke coming out of his bottom. So goodness knows what's happening there. But interesting composition. No Han Solo again. We've seen this several times. It is becoming a theme. Han Solo is not seen as a character you want to promote. Now, this guy, this Papuza, he did another Star Wars poster, or he did a concept for a poster. Now, I don't believe this went to press or anywhere. This was just a concept poster he produced.
It looks the same.
No, you've got a very odd thing going on. He's actually got people looking normal in this one. So Leia looks normal. Luke, it's not the best image of Luke, but you can see it's Luke. You've got Obi-Wan. You've got Tarkin, who we'll come to in a minute about Tarkin on posters. It's very interesting. Again, you've got the same kind of setup, the kind of round disc shape on the back. But you've got a Dewback. So that concept picture, which we all saw, of the Stormtrooper on the Dewback, which featured on cards and stuff, but not actually in the film until they put things back in again. So there's obviously been sent a number of images and just created that menagerie from there. But obviously this, remember, wasn't used. But C-3PO very front and center. It's obviously his movie. It's all about 3PO. But that's one of two images of this artist that we've ever had.
This is an awesome image, isn't it? You've got Luke and Leia there suffering with jaundice. You've got Tarkin and Obi-Wan in the background. I mean, they must be zombies. They're green. I don't know what's going on with them. You've got a bright red Chewie.
Bright red indeed.
Like you say, you've got 3PO there front and centre. He's definitely the star of the show. And you've got a TIE fighter shooting red lasers straight through Ben's head. What is going on with that image? I'd love to know what that guy was smoking.
Well, yeah, but maybe that's why he ended. But, I mean, there's a familiar colour scheme on his Fistful of Dollars poster. Lots of greens, lots of reds, yellows, and those real sort of primary colours. So he obviously liked a little bit of that. And that goes all the way through to his Guar Stellari image, which was used on the sticker album. So, right, let's get into the album because, like I said, I mean, these things came in a box. The packets, obviously, you've seen the packet. There is a box which sold this week, in fact.
It's just a white box, isn't it, with that same image on the front?
£900?
£900. That was for it actually was there was 50 sealed packets in there.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, those normally go for quite a bit anyway on their own. I think.
Could you do a complete album with that box? Do you think? That's good.
I doubt it very much. I mean, if I think of that box I opened for the Return of Jedi stickers, we did not. I only managed to just about finish mine. I only had about, like I said, 5 or 6 to go. So no, not from a box. But there's only 50 in there, so I imagine there's probably a few more. But so that's the only image I can find of the box. So they're obviously very, very rare, and that's why that sort of price. Because a sticker album isn't ridiculously rare, but it is pricey. You'd be spending any from 50 to, on completion, £50 upwards. I've seen a few go for 120, that sort of thing. So they're not the easiest things to get hold of. sticker packs, like I said, there is one going at the moment. I think it's about 20 quid. There's still about a few days to go. So that'll probably go for something between probably upwards about £50 again, I reckon. So it's not cheap if we want to go down this route. And we can look at the album. And I think it's worth looking at the album. I do suggest we just go through it because it is absolutely fascinating. I think the images used, now, this is an Italian album. And they have, Italians are a creative bunch. I'll give them that. But the opening image is that image we've seen a lot through a lot of Javier Suarez's jigsaws that come from Spain of that X-Wing fighter, the opening page, X-Wing fighters in that sort of star field. And it's a 6-sticker creation. And it's absolutely wonderful. The only thing lets it down is if you bought stickers been printed slightly badly, it doesn't look great. But I just want you to just flick through it a little bit. There's a couple of images which are just phenomenal.
Lovely images in here, aren't there? I mean, lots of movie stills, but they've got some Macquarie artwork. I mean, they're not straight movie scenes. There's some behind-the-scenes stuff. There's some deleted scenes.
Exactly. I'm loving the Jar Sankler. You know what? I've seen that image a few times, and it's obviously I'm assuming it's a Macquarie image, but it's talked about in a movie. So I didn't realise there was a face on the Sandcrawler before, but that's just me. Anyone seen that before? The face on the front of the Sandcrawler, the big teeth.
Oh yeah.
That's page 7. If you want to go to page 6.
Reminds me of Jaws, that, Pete.
It does, doesn't it? It does look like Jaws. I mean, I don't know whether that's just deliberate. Macquarie must have been doing this in about 77, 78, so it might have been inspired by Jaws, but I think that's absolutely amazing that it's got this big toothy picture on. Now, as you work your way through to page 14, 15, and it's a picture of Leia. I have never seen that. Well, I have seen it because I've seen the film, because it's in the film. But they have got that image, and it is beautiful. It's her looking utterly terrified. I'm assuming, her planet being blown up. But what an image! What a captured image that is. I don't think that would have featured in a British version. I think the Italians have gone for much drama in these images. I mean, this. I think it's wonderful. I really do love these images. There's a great picture on 2021 of Luke Skywalker screaming. Again, you'd never see that image anywhere of him shouting or screaming. But yeah, we'll put this link in, obviously, show notes, and you can go and look at every single image, because I mean, not a lot of people are going to have this album, especially in Britain. But yeah, absolutely corking.
Yeah, as you say, some great choices of image. You'd think the logical thing to do would be for them to use the same images that perhaps Topps used for the trading cards, the ones with the red and blue and so on borders. But no, they've gone and they've gone off entirely their own way, and they've got some fantastic images, some really rare pictures in there. Very nice.
If you go to the final page where you can obviously order in your stickers when you can't be bothered to complete it, there's a cracking marketing stills. And the Princess Leia one is absolutely outstanding. I mean, it's her looking not at all Star Wars, but in her, obviously, gown. I mean, and her grin is just a big cheesy old grin. It's beautiful. We've seen the Luke one before. I'm not sure about the Han and Chewie one, where he's got his arm almost on Chewie's shoulder, almost covering his left shoulder. And of course, the 3PO and Narton we've seen many times before. But I mean, I think it's just an absolute work of art. I think it's absolutely fantastic, that album. I think it's going to be too much money for me to do, but I just think the images are great. I might try and find some individual stickers, which are easier to get hold of than the obviously sealed pack. So have a look around. They do pop up on things like the Beyond the Toys group every now and again. I've found a couple. Right, now, just very briefly on the German one, because it's the pretty much same album. Now, the front image, does anyone know who made that image? Who created the image? You know what it's referred to as?
Is it the same image as on the sticker pack there? That's the Tom Chantrell artwork, isn't it?
It is indeed. Well done, young sir. Can you tell me anything about the Tom Chantrell image? Why it was used? It might explain why our Italian friend was thrown to the side afterwards.
Yeah, it was commissioned for the British cinema posters, wasn't it? We had an initial poster, the Hildebrandt image, wasn't it? And they decided that wasn't dynamic enough. They wanted something with a bit more action, a bit more adventure in it. Tom Chantrell was commissioned, along with a couple of other guys, to do a poster. His artwork was chosen, and that's the one that we all know and love now, where you got Luke in the middle pointing his blaster straight towards the camera, the viewer. You've got Han Solo shooting his blaster another direction, Leia shooting it another direction. You've got Big Darth Vader head and the Death Star in the background. Very, very dynamic, very memorable, very recognizable image.
Now, there's 2 points to that. One, the point is that image was chosen because, or it was recommissioned, should we say, because it was obviously the Hildebrandt one, which was loved, but the Lucasfilm didn't really like it because it didn't kind of portray the actors in the film. So that's why this one was commissioned, because they wanted to show off the actors. We had, a couple of big actors in there. We had some, they want to really show the dynamism of that there actually were characters in this film, not just the kind of like a very beautiful kind of painting of the image. It really did sort of start that whole let's show who's in this film. Now, the second part of my question is, there is a figure on who didn't feature on any other posters.
That would be Grand Moff Tarkin, I believe.
It was indeed. This is the only poster he featured on from the original, posters that were made. He didn't feature on any others. So Grand Moff Tarkin didn't get his day, and that's why I think maybe our friend with his concept work was maybe asked in that second bit of concept work. He went down the kind of like trying to look a bit more realistic, but then then bye young sir. But I do love that image. I think it is a beautiful image. It looks more modern than it actually is, I think, sometimes. I see it and I always think, oh wow, that looks more modern than it should, because I always have the Hildebrandt image in my head, which for some reason that to me that's just Star Wars. I think it's because it features on the back of the cards, the Topps cards. When you assemble the cards, you get that Hildebrandt picture or that variant of it, and that was always a Star Wars poster in my head. And this one always looks more modern. But so those are the only two albums for Star Wars for Panini. So they didn't have anything to do with Empire Strikes Back. The only other thing I could find was that German album actually came a little bit like the Return of the Jedi albums. It actually came with a magazine called Pop with Melody Maker. So there's obviously some sort of collaboration with, I'm assuming that's the Melody Maker magazine, much like we did in the UK. So I wondered if this is where it started. So it looks like you got 8 stickers. You had the album, and that came with extra posters, apparently. So they were really giving stuff away on this magazine. I couldn't find an issue of this magazine anywhere, so I'm assuming it's ridiculously rare. I'm assuming it must pop up from time to time, because they must have churned a few of these out. But I wonder who Ingrid Stiger Gans Privat is all about. It looks like a bit like a sordid love story there, guys. If you are going to do some more Panini collecting, boys, there's something rare for you to find. The magazine that gave the album away. There we go. Anyone seen that before?
No, I haven't. Very nice.
Very nice, isn't it?
The first Panini logo was known as the Flying Player, a footballer engaged in a spectacular mid-air volley designed by Walter Vicardi, and was released on the Italian Calciatori album in 1965. The logo we all recognise today is of a knight with a long bayonet running from left to right. On his shield are the letters EPM, which stand for Edizioni Panini Modena. The knight was used because Giuseppe Panini loved riddles and puzzles so much that he invented his own crossword puzzles under the pseudonym The Knight.
Right, should we go into Return of the Jedi? Because you two burst. I can hear it. You're twitching to go. Twitching. So just in case you don't know what it looks like, this is the lovely blue Return of the Jedi album, which is large part of my childhood. I traded something really good for, I think it was the top or bottom half Cy Snootles sticker. It was one of them, and I ripped it out of his album, and I remember gluing it in, and it's still there. I glued it in well, but that was the only time I did that. It didn't come with a real sticker. I actually took it from somebody else's album. I must have traded him something good for that. Probably 100 stickers or something stupid. Anyway, guys, so Jason, give us a quick overview of the range of what came out.
Panini did a version of it in the UK, but then there was also foreign branded versions of it as well. So there's a French version that says Le Retour du Jedi.
Good French cover. There, well done. Good French, good luck.
And then the Rückkehr der Jedi Ritter, the German version of it, and then the Italian Il Ritorno dello Jedi. There's the French, German, and Italian versions of that album. In the USA, Topps got the license for stickers, so their one is Topps branded, but essentially it's the same album.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's all the different albums I found. I thought there might be a Dutch or Spanish version. Andy, would you know if there's any more than those ones in terms of different foreign variations?
Not that I'm aware of, Jason. No, I think you've covered it.
The sticker packets are the funny thing, though, because almost all the sticker packets you get are Topps branded, and the individual sticker packets for Panini are incredibly rare. And one of the only places you can see them are in the comic giveaways that they did in 1983. And if you have one of those and it's sealed, you have the original Panini branded sticker packet inside, which is why I think they're so rare. Because what happened with these things is the kid would get the comic bag, rip it open, shredding the bag, get their sticker album, rip open the packet, stick it all 5 stickers in the album, and then they were done. So most of these albums that you can pick up all have 5 stickers put inside them, where they were done with the comic giveaway. And the comic giveaway was done on September the 10th, 1983, with 2000 AD Eagle and Buster. If you're collecting any of these things, basically the 2000 AD comes up all the time. Eagle and Buster are much less frequent than that. I mean, I've been looking for an Eagle and Buster comic baggy giveaway for over a year now, and I've not seen one. I've also got a pack of 4 stickers where it's like 4 in a sheet, which you cut into 4, and those are Panini branded. And I picked those up from a French collector.
Yeah, I think Jez bought a set of those not too recently. I'm not quite sure if he might have overpaid a bit, but I saw one the other day up for not too much. So, I mean, Andy, apparently there were some more stickers that came out with these comics.
With the bag comics, so you got your plastic bag, which contained a copy of the comic, it contained a copy of the sticker album, and it contained 1 pack of 6 stickers. Now I'm lucky enough to have all 3 of these, and I've got the sticker packets, but it's a problem that you find with most of these old sticker packets. The glue that actually sealed them is not very good, and the glue comes apart. So what I've got is actually the front and the back of the sticker packet having come apart with the glue having failed, and then the 6 loose stickers. So to find an actual sealed one still with the glue intact must be very hard indeed. The next issue, as Jason says, the album was given away with the 10th of September 1983 issues, and then in the next issue, the 17th of September, that's where these extra stickers came from. And I've got a group of 4 stickers, which are still joined together. I've also got a group of 8 stickers. I think it was 8 stickers that were given away. Not in packets, just loose, but as I say, still connected together, still unpunched, not separated from each other. So those would have been given away in that successive issue. Otherwise, you go to the newsagent and you get your stickers from the countertop box. I can remember doing that back in the day.
Oh, yes.
And building up my collection. But I'm not aware that there were anywhere else that you could get these things.
There's also some nice advertising. Yeah, so the advertising. So the week before, on September the 3rd, 1983, there's a nice advert that says, next week, race to a showdown with destiny. And it's got a picture of the album. It says, Buster 2008 Eagle, free album plus stickers. And then 2000 AD, it says free with 2000 AD next week, Prog, and a picture of the sticker album. And then there's one for Eagle, which, again, it's advertising the album. And then inside Prog 3.3, which came out with the album, it says, your Zarjazz free gift. And Zarjazz is the phrase that Prog would come out with and say everything was Zarjazz. So that's talking about the September the 17th issue, which had the free stickers, obviously. So yeah, there's a good little bit of advertising that you can pick up. And I've got the advert that was on September the 3rd, which I have kind of at the back of my display next to one of the sticker albums so far. But it's nice to know that there are other nice little bits and bobs that you can get around this. So I'm going to have to.
Yeah, Jason, you found a really good website which is worth giving a shout out to, and I think anyone wants to check out anything to do with 2000 AD and Star Wars. This is a beautiful, beautiful website, really comprehensive.
I'm looking at it. It's basically every single mention of Star Wars inside 2000 AD, and it's on michaelowencarroll.wordpress.com.
Even if you're only mildly interested in 2000 AD, I would say anyone out there just wants to look at a comprehensive list. Because, I mean, I'm now because I love 2000 AD anyway, and I've still got my original collection of comics.
Oh,
I
you
think
lucky man.
I know it's one of the things I didn't throw away. I still got them, but I think I started about just about after that. I think I might have got the album because of Return to Jedi. Then I started collecting it probably about 6 months later, when I stopped probably collecting Return to Jedi weekly, I'd imagine. Brilliant comic, great characters, and that is a really beautiful list of stuff. Might have to get him on one day if he's up for talking to us, because I think that's something we should cover one day, because it's a great list, isn't it? There's so many cracking little promotions and little story things, posters as well. We got the Power Toy posters and stuff. 2000 AD, obviously the market was boys essentially and space things, so it was always going to meet up, but there's a lot of insight into some sort of little crossovers and influences from Star Wars into various science fiction. So yeah, a really good find. Definitely check that out.
And well, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to have to do what I did with the transfers back at the end of last year, and actually go into eBay and hoover all this stuff up before the podcast is broadcast. So I'm going to be busy on eBay later on by the looks of it. To
be fair, most of it is pretty cheap, because unless you're going after the bag stuff, which obviously is ridiculous, just the singular comics with this stuff, they're not that expensive.
No, they're not.
2000 AD, you can pick an issue up for between £1 with post, and obviously extra postage to a few quid depending on the condition. But yeah, these things are out there. Andy, anything else from you about this stuff? You must have some crazy little promotional items we never heard of.
Yeah, I haven't actually, but I'll tell you what is really rare, and I would love to get my hands on, and that is the UK Panini shop display box. We talked about how hard the actual sticker packets are to come by. Not the Topps ones, which are everywhere, but the actual Panini ones. The big difference between those, they're very easy to tell apart, because on the front of the Topps ones, you've got a barcode, and the Panini ones are missing that. So that's the easy way to spot the British ones. But the British display box, I've got a photograph of one, but I've never seen one come up for sale. Which is bizarre, because the Empire Strikes Back sticker album, which was done by FKS in Britain, they are really commonplace. You can get the sticker boxes. I think one went on eBay for about £7 or £8 a couple of weeks ago.
I can't believe that the Return of the Jedi one is hard. I mean, I'm not dissing your information. It just seems bizarre that there were so many of them.
Yeah, I don't know whether they were sent back to the wholesaler or quite what happened, but no, they are extremely hard to find. And as I said, I'd love to get one of those.
But there were, I found a few promotional things from magazines in the foreign land. I found there were a Tour du Jedi advert, which is I put in the text chat there, which is actually quite nice.
That's quite nice, yeah.
It's got a B-wing in there. Another thing we haven't really... we never mentioned that when we were talking about B-wings, but there's a B-wing and a A-wing as well. So there we go. So we got a couple of our ships. I mean, the B-wing's flying off the page. It's so frenzied. It's gone off. So, I'm having this and I'm off. But yeah, a nice little advert there. And I'm sure we'll find some more of those in things. So if you are out there and you have an advert for the sticker albums, please let us know, especially the foreign ones, because they're quite hard to find. But I think that's it, guys. I mean, Panini is still going, as we know. They're still knocking out Star Wars albums. They're still knocking out football albums, which they're obviously famous for. I mean, it's just a great brand, synonymous. I mean, no one really talks about sticker albums. They just say Paninis. We just talk about Panini albums. It's part, again, it's a bit like, the Hoover thing and various things. It's just become part of the speech, isn't it? You talk about stickers, you talk about Panini. It's just one of those things. It's just out there. It's fantastic.
Well, before we finish, Pete, I've got to ask you guys. You were collecting them back in the day, I'm sure. Did you?
Yes.
Did you complete your album? I can remember.
Yes.
Everybody was collecting these back at school.
Oh yes.
And all the pocket money went on these. Couldn't wait to get down the newsagents and get your next packet and go through. And of course, as your album's getting fuller, you'd buy 6 packets and not one of them had a sticker in that you needed. In the playground, trading and buying and selling, and God, there was a right market in these. But to get to that moment, because there was a coupon in the back, wasn't there? You could send off for your last, 20 stickers or whatever it was. And to get to that moment where you got to the point where you could send off and get your last stickers and complete your album and stick the last one in, that was such a fantastic feeling. I can still remember that to this day.
I never use those things at the back. I thought that was against the fundamentals of collecting stickers. I think that's it, guys. I think that was pretty good, considering that was put together last minute.
That was fantastic.
Well done, guys. You two know your shit. Right, guys, that was absolutely fantastic. I think we've covered that. If you're out there, if you have any more information, because obviously we don't have a comprehensive list of all the little bits and pieces that might come out abroad. Very interested to see if there was a box of Krieg der Stern. If anyone has a box, they can show us a picture of it. I'd really like to know. If any of you Germans out there or German collectors out there, please let me know. I beg you, I want to see that box to complete the images. But yeah, good stuff. Let us know what you thought about this section, and we'll see you next month if we're also alive.
It's 1970s Britain. It's Christmas Day with the Johnsons, and it's time to open the presents. Look at young Sally opening her present. A wooden spoon, mixing bowl, and a sturdy apron. How lucky are girls in this modern age. It's now Jim's turn to open. Oh wow, space toys from Palatoy. That's it, son, says Mr. Johnson. Throw that old cardboard onto the fire. Let's play some space adventurers. And look, here's Eric. He's home from the mine. No space toys for him. It's a proper month's supply of cigarettes, what every growing lad of 12 years needs. And it would stop him borrowing Grandma's pipe. Oh, what a joyful day. Happy Christmas, everybody. Grab yourself one of those delicious podcasts next time you're on the internet. Our flavour is the Vintage Rebellion, and you can find us from the usual vendors.